Today we are going to see the leadership. Success without leadership. Success without leadership. बिना लीडरशिप रे सफलता आसीबो नै बिना नेतृत्व रे. That's why we have to see important the higher you want to climb, more you need leadership. The greater the impact you want to make, the greater your influence need to be. So the higher you want to climb, you want to go higher and higher and higher, the more you need leadership. You have to, when you want to more leadership, and you can be higher and higher and higher, becoming. The greater the impact you want to make, you want to impact the make the God's ministry, the greater your influence needs to be. Our influence must be, then only we can be a good leader. And you can see leadership ability is always lie on lead on personal and organizational effectiveness. Leadership. If the leadership is strong, the lead is high, but if it is not, then the organization is limited. That's why in times of trouble, organizations naturally look for new leadership. Organization, that's why they are changing the leadership, making a new leadership. And the country is experiencing hard times. It elects a new president. And a company is losing money. It hire a new CEO or new MD appointed, or new manager. MD is owner, but they appointed as a new CEO. When a church is flourishing, the example, when a church is floundering, it searches for a new senior pastor. You can see personal and organizational effectiveness is proportionate to the strength of the leadership. The strength of leadership, we must have a kind of special determination. Suppose we want to do a certain work, the respective places, and we have to make a plan and do with a strong determination. Then only that can be happen. The leadership. This is the leadership. And you can see, you can find smart, talented, successful people who are able to go only too far because of the limitation of their leadership. That's why you always fire. We must have a firing mind. Because work, we have to be rapidly do the God's ministry and making people a successful people, bringing people a successful people. We have to be appointed as successful people. You have to appointed those who are capability having. We have to appointed them. That's why the law of influence, we can see the true measure of leadership is influence. Influencing, the leadership is influencing. And nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. If you don't have influence, you will never be able to lead the others. That's what a leadership quality, that leadership. And this book was a very effective book, and it was written by the talented leaders and talented leaders. And see here the how you can be a more proper leader. That's why written the true measure of a leadership is influence. If you don't have influence, you will never be able to lead the others. So how do you measure influence? Here's a story, answer that question. In late summer 1997, people were jolted by two events that occurred less than a week apart: the death of the Princess Diana and Mother Teresa. On the surface, the two women could not have been more different. One was a tall, young, glamorous princess from England who circulated in the highest society. The other, a Nobel Peace Prize recipient, was a small, elderly Catholic nun born in Albania who served the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, India. This is the Mother Teresa. What's incredible is that their impact was remarkably similar. In 1996, poll published by the London Daily Mail, Princess Diana and Mother Teresa were voted in first and second places as the world's two most caring people. They are the world's most caring people. The leadership is a person who is caring to the people, not a hating people, caring and loving people. That's why he written that that's something that doesn't have unless you have a lot of influence. How did someone like Diana come to be regarded in the same way as Mother Teresa? The answer is that she demonstrated the power of the law of influence. Mother Teresa, he demonstrated the power of the law of influence. That's why we have to be a leadership is a servant. Leadership means what? You have to see he or she is a leadership, a person is a servant, not a like a VIP sitting and eating, but leadership is a servant who served others, who is taking care of others' life, to who is saved others' life, who is rescuing others' life. That's how the leadership is a person. He has this kind of a duty or demand. Duty is demanded. And Diana captured the world's imagination. You can see here 1981, Diana became the most talked about person on the globe when she married Prince Charles of England. Nearly 1 billion people watched Diana wedding ceremony television from St. Paul's Cathedral. While Diana was married and returned here, Diana's wedding ceremony, and there are 1 billion people they watch their marriage ceremony. That's why we can see the people who are intrigued with Diana, a commoner who had once been a kindergarten teacher. At first she seemed painfully shy and totally overwhelmed by all the attention she and her new husband were receiving. We can see early in their marriage, some reports started that Diana was not very happy performing the duty expected of her as a loyal princess. However, in time she adjusted to her new role. He adjusted. But we can see as she started traveling and representing the loyal family around the world at various functions, she quickly made it her goal to serve others and raise funds for numerous charitable causes. And during the process, she built many important relationships with the politicians, organizers of humanitarian causes, entertainers, and the head of state. At first, she was a simple spokesperson and a catalyst for fundraising, but as time went by, her influence increased, and so did her ability to make things happen. So her influence was increased, and so did her ability to make things happen. Not only that, Diana started relying people to causes such as AIDS research, care for people with leprosy, and a ban and landman. She was quite influential bringing that large issue to the attention of the world's leaders. A wonderful leaders. On a visit to the United States just months before her death, she made a member of the Clinton administration to the convenience them to support the Oslo conference banning the devices, and a few weeks later they made changes in their position. Patrick Fuller of the British Red Cross said the attention she drew to the issue influenced Clinton. She put the issue on the world's agenda. There's no doubt about that. And it was you can see you have achieved excellence as a leader when people will follow you everywhere if you only out of what you do.